What's up, guys? I am the fantasy captain, and it is week 8, and I just want to talk about some running backs that you can pick up this week that can help you out through the season. Alright, so first one on the list, we're going to go with Ronald Jones. He was on my list last week also. Running back for the Buccaneers, he's 21% owned right now. Reason for him being number one is he has the potential to break out this week, and Peyton Barber, he left last Sunday's game with an ankle injury, and he did not practice today. Today's Wednesday. So, if Ronald Jones gets a chance to play and be the number one, we can finally see what he's really capable of. I've let people know to be patient with Ronald Jones this year. They've been bringing him along slowly, but now is the time to tell if he's really gonna turn into something this year. If he's gonna break out. If he doesn't have a good game this week, I'm really gonna back off the whole Ronald Jones bandwagon. He needs to start to show a little more, and he has a great opportunity this week. Let's see. Last week when he came in for Barber, he only had 6 attempts for 13 yards, 1 reception for 15 yards, but he scored his first NFL touchdown against Cleveland. One thing that I was afraid of Ronald Jones this year was his pass catching ability, but you know what? He seemed to have actually improved that a little bit. He dropped his first pass, I believe, in the NFL, but he's been 5 for 5 for his next 5 targets, so that's an improvement. And gaining the trust in the passing game was one of the things I was worried about, and he's doing good so far, you know. So yeah, add Ronald Jones. I'm not saying to start him, but keep him on your bench just for this week. And if he doesn't show us anything, then you know, I think he could be droppable. But if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen this week. All right, number 2, we're gonna go with Raheem Mostert, Niners running back. He's 44% owned. Matt Breida did not practice Wednesday. He's got that bad ankle injury. Last week, Breida just played 5 snaps before aggravating the ankle against the Rams. They just need to let the guy rest, to be honest. Like, Breida, all I remember last year is also, it seemed like almost every time he came in the lineup, he got banged up too. He's always getting banged up. Almost every time this guy gets hit, it seems like it's a season-ending injury. Like, he's talented. You can see what he's done on the field. Some really nice plays, man. It's been fun to watch. But yeah, he's just so fragile. Let's see. So just monitor his practices. But Mostert, he's looked pretty good. Alfred Morris has not. I was never too excited when they signed Alfred Morris. And then, you know, he hasn't looked that great. So Alfred Morris, he had 9 carries for 25 yards and 1 incompleted target last week. Morris is averaging just 3.6 yards a carry this year with 1 touchdown. It's not very exciting. And I just let Mostert get the bulk of the carries, you know, for as long as he can handle it. But the thing is, I don't know if Alfred Morris is really going to go away totally as much as I want him to for fantasy purposes. Nobody wants to start Morris, but he's still going to get a handful of carries, and I hope not, though. I hope they really give Mostert a chance this week. He's playing decent. Last 2 weeks, Mostert had 12 carries for 87 yards, which is a 7.2 average. No targets. And then this past week, he had 7 carries for 59 yards, which is almost an 8.5 yard average. He also had 4 targets, and he converted all 4 of them for 19 yards, no touchdown. Yeah, Mostert needs to be a little more involved. Hopefully he is. And hopefully they just give Breida the... Even if Breida starts, who knows how much he'll actually play, but you can't start Mostert if Breida's going to play at all. Hopefully they just give him the week off. Number 3, we're going to go with Chris Ivory, running back of the Bills. Right now he's 23% owned. LaShawn McCoy, he left Week 7's game in the first quarter. He had a head injury, but also a right ankle injury. And then I was on Yahoo, and they have him labeled as a rib injury. So he's just been banged up. He might not clear concussion protocol before Monday's game, so you just got to keep an eye on McCoy. But the good thing about Chris Ivory is he could be a great short-term play. He should have plenty of playing time this week, but he can also be a long-term play because we all know that McCoy's been involved in a lot of trade talks, and there are some teams, including the Eagles, that were inquiring about him in potential trades. Trade deadline is, I believe, October 30th before 4 o'clock Eastern time. So there's still time for them to trade him. And if they traded him, Chris Ivory would be the number 1, obviously, and he'd be a pretty good asset on your team. So last week, Chris Ivory, he had, against the Colts, 81 yards on 16 carries. He also had 3 receptions for 25 yards, which is 106 scrimmage yards. This week, he would be going against the Pats, who's allowing 111 rushing yards a game. So it's a decent matchup. But keep an eye on McCoy. It's a Monday night game, so I don't think they'll release the first injury update till probably Friday. You just gotta keep an eye on that. And who knows, McCoy can get traded. If you guys listened to me on my last video, I was giving you guys ideas of what handcuffs to stash and to target the most talented backup running backs, and Chubb was one of them. And I hope you guys listened to me and had him on your roster before the trade even happened, because I believe he had 80 rushing yards this past game. But Chubb is going to be a really good player going forward. He's got great matchups. So Ivory can be another good ad for you. Okay, number 4. Let's go with Barner from the Patriots, the running back. He's 23% owned. Let's see. Yeah, the Pats have been having running back issues all year, injury-wise. One after the other. Most recently was Sony Michel. He left the game against the Bears with a knee injury. They said no structural damage. It's not considered too serious. He's week to week. But Michel did not practice Wednesday, and he's supposed to be out this week. Expected to be. So Barner in his place rushed 10 times for 36 yards. And they won against the Bears defense. And they are currently ranked 4th best against the rush. So moving forward, he will split time with James White. They're playing the Bills this week. That's allowed 92.5 rushing yards a game, which is eighth best in the league. But a running back on this offense, plenty of scoring opportunities. I think Barner is a good add. Keep an eye on Michelle also. More of a short-term play. Let's go number 5. We got Trenton Cannon, which is 4% owned, and Elijah McGuire, 5% owned from the New York Jets running backs. So we'll start with the 6th round rookie running back, Trenton Cannon. He did inherit a larger role last week when Bilal Powell left with a neck injury. And it seems like it's a pretty serious injury, so. And I like Bilal Powell. He's pretty cool, but Crowell, he's also been battling a foot injury over the past few games. Let's see, Cannon had 5 targets. He converted 4 of them for 69 yards, adding 2 carries for just 4 yards this past week. For now, Cannon is Crowell's primary backup, but how long is that going to last? Because they're waiting for Elijah McGuire, which finally returned back from practice last week, week 7. He's coming off the IR. He won't be eligible to play this week, which is week 8, but week 9 he should be eligible to come back, and I've seen plenty of reports saying that he should be the guy once he comes back to take Powell's role. So for now, Trenton Cannon this week, as of this week. But I kind of feel like it's going to be McGuire moving forward, but nobody knows for sure. There's always these analysts and reports saying they know something for sure. Like, this is going to be the guy. You just don't know for sure, So it's really a wait and see. Stash both of them. And you just got to wait it out and see exactly what's going to happen. Okay, number 6, we're going to go with Doug Martin from the Oakland Raiders. He's 44% owned. And also Jalen Richard, which is 52% owned. With Beast Mode heading to the IR, it really sucks because I'm actually a huge Beast Mode fan. I've always, I'm a Niner fan, but he's played for the Seahawks and the Raiders, and I don't like either one of those teams very much, but Marshawn's always been one of my he probably is my all-time favorite running back. If I could have one running back to start my franchise in their prime, it would be Marshawn Lynch. He's so fun to watch, and even at his age, he still was tearing it up this year, being beast mode. He's fun to watch. I'm a fan, even though he's tortured the Niners a little bit. So Doug Martin's going to be the new starter. And since 2015, Martin has not done much. 2016 to 18, he's averaging 2.9 a carry. 309 attempts, 6 touchdowns over 25 games. This year's most involved game, which was week 3, he had 9 carries for 43 yards against Miami, which was a 4.7 average, which is pretty good. So in the right matchup, Doug Martin can be useful. Okay, Jalen Richard, which is owned more, 52% against Martin's 44%. He's going to continue to be the PPR back. As far as carrying the ball, he's only had 11 rushing attempts all year for 32 yards. Over the last 4 games, he's had at least 5 targets, but including 8 in his last game, and I think 7 the week before. He hasn't scored a touchdown all year, though. That's been Marshawn. Although Jalen Richard's usage should go up a little bit, I I don't think it's gonna go up too much. Doug Martin is really the guy that's gonna benefit from the injury, and he's gonna be a little more involved. But it's always game game dependent on if they're behind, then they're gonna take Martin out and use Richard, which they're gonna be behind plenty. But the good thing about both of them is they have decent running back matchups against defenses the rest of the year. They have a lot of good matchups, so they both can be decent adds in your league. But yeah, that's pretty much everybody I have that you guys can look out for this week. And I appreciate you guys watching. Just help me support this new channel and subscribe. And I'm gonna try to come back each week, try to help everybody out. I appreciate it. Thank you guys.